Welcome back to our 8th standard English class, children. Children, in the last class we have done the topic sentence and types of a sentence, and I hope that you revised the topic, you have practiced and you tried the different type of a sentence, isn't it, children? I hope you have done it. And let's move on to another topic, that is figure of speech. Figure of speech is a very small topic. It is a like comparison. We can say figure of speech, it means that it is a comparison, because see, we will compare the things with one to another, and that comparison is called as a figure of speech. And here in your syllabus, figure of speech is everywhere you can find, especially in part of a poetry. You will get to identify different types of a figure of speech and how the grammar question can be arised on this topic. It means that in your exercise part, they will give one sentence and they will tell you to identify which type of a figure of speech they will ask. It will carry 1 mark question, children. No more question is asked apart from these type of a questions. So, to identify this figure of speech, it is important to learn the meaning of a figure of speech as well as the kinds of a figure of speech. So you write down definition. Definition they won't ask you anywhere. Any one of the poem line they will be given, and they will ask you to identify the type of a figure of speech. So that I will tell you how you have to identify. Now definition you write down for a figure of speech. Write down, a figure of speech is a word or phrase that possess a separate meaning from its literal definition. Full stop. I will repeat once again. A figure of speech is a word or phrase that possess a separate meaning from its literal definition. Full stop. Continue. It can be a metaphor. It can be a metaphor. It can be a metaphor. It can be a metaphor or simile. It can be a metaphor or it can be a simile designed to make a comparison. Designed to make a comparison. Full stop. It can be the repetition. It can be the repetition or exaggeration. It can be repetition or exaggeration. It can be repetition or exaggeration. It can be repetition or exaggeration to provide a dramatic effect. See, I will repeat once again. It can be a metaphor or simile designed to make a comparison. Full stop. It can be a repetition or exaggeration to provide a dramatic effect. To provide a dramatic effect. Full stop. Okay. So what definition you took, children? Now what is figure of speech according to your definition? So figure of speech is that one sentence you have took, right? Clear? You have took the one sentence and the sentence gives another meaning than what it has written. Clear? I will repeat once again. You have took the one sentence. That written sentence is give the meaning which has not written, or meaning is something else. Right? Suppose I can say he is standing. He is. See children, he is standing here, right? That is a simple sentence, and that meaning itself says that he is standing, right? Suppose if I add he is standing like a stone, or he is standing like a wall. What does it mean? Here he is compared to the wall, right? That comparison is called as a figure of speech. Have you understood children? See, if it is only he is standing, there is a no what comparison, or you are giving a meaning that he is standing, right? But you want to convey the meaning that he is obstacle to your path, or he is standing in middle of the path, that you cannot directly tell. You are standing to my path, you are obstacle, you are blocking my way, that you cannot directly tell. So if you compare, if you indirectly twist that you are standing like a wall, it means that he is like a wall to your path. That comparison. So here he is used. He is compared with the wall by using these words. Here, like is a figure of speech. Is it clear, children? So that is a simple example I can give, right? So by adding like a wall, it convey the meaning, right? And it will exaggerate. You are standing like a wall. The exaggeration that you are describing how he was standing on the middle of your path. Clear? That was a figure of speech, and it also gives the dramatic look. Isn't it, children? See, you are standing like a wall, or you are like a huge what? Huge stone on my path. All this comparison, which can be called as a figure of speech, means you want to convey the message to the person or somebody else that you cannot directly compare. So what you will do, you are beautiful, you are as beautiful as peacock, you are as beautiful as peacock. Clear? So that will compare your beauty with a peacock. Clear? So you are dancing like a peacock. Then that comparison. So why the peacock is identified, or why it was mentioned, because the beauty or the dance of the peacock is well known. So when we are or the dance of ours is compared with the peacock, then we will understand that what kind of a comparison, or what kind of the exaggeration that they have given, or the appreciation that we have got for our dance. Is it clear? So here I have used the word like, right? So such kind of other comparison is there that we can use in a figure of speech. So first type of a figure of speech, that is personification. Write down personification. First type of a figure of speech, personification. Right? So definition you write: personification, the attribution of a personal nature or human character to something non-human character. Full stop. Is it clear? What? See, here I am giving children simple definition, so that when you read the simple definition, you have to understand that what you have written and what does it mean. Clear? So what the personification will say here? Here see, first type of a figure of speech is personification. Here human character was compared with something non-living or something which is, see, it means that, see here, personification mainly that human character or human being which is compared to non-human or non-living things, or living thing is compared with non-living things. Understood, children? How? In the sense that, see what the definition says, the attribution of a personal nature or human character to something non-human, right? So here example, wind singing, example, wind singing. So these example I can give here, which is the human character here, singing is a human character, right? This is a human character which is compared to a wind, which is a non-living. Clear? So what the personification will say, children, here? Personification which compare human character with non-living character, or non-living character is compared to human character. Here wind is non-living, right? Which is compared to human singing. Is it clear, children? Here non-living is compared to living thing, because human character is singing. So your wind is singing in the sense the blowing or the sound of a wind which is compared to singing. Clear? Clear? That was a personification. And in your poem, in your syllabus, children, in your poem Beauty, there are the few such personification is there. Clear? In the Beauty poem, there are the few personification is there that you have to identify. That was the small exercise for you. Notes I already provided, right? But once you read, anyhow you all are bahated the poem, isn't it, children? But anyhow you are bahated, you know the poem, so you see which thing is compared to which thing, which living thing is compared to non-living things. That you have to see, compare, and you have to tell, yes, that was a personification. That is what the practical experiment we can do in a personification. Then the next one is simile. Write down. A figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with another thing of different kind. One thing with another thing of different kind. Next para. A simile is a figure of speech. A simile is a figure of speech that directly compares to two things. These two, okay, TWO. Two things. Clear? Two things. So what the simile says is, simile here compare two things which is completely different, which is completely one and other. See here I gave man and wall. Where do you remember, children? Man, he was standing like a wall. Here he and wall. Okay, here I write. Okay, this is a simile example. See, he and wall. Right? Here he is completely one thing and which is a other thing. So here in simile, you remember that there is a no comparison or no classification that he is a living and he is a non-living. No. Here in simile, these two are separately different. Either we may take he or he or I may take wall and stone. Such either human being and human being, non-living being and living being, either both are non-living only. Such kind of a totally different things. There is no exactly comparison that like the personification, living and non-living. No, in simile we won't classify as a living and non-living. Here we take entirely two things which is separate, which is completely different from each other. Is it clear? One thing. Then where keeping a two different things we compare in a simile. Clear? Here in a personification, children understand, while comparing living with the non-living. Clear? In a personification what we will do? We will compare living with the non-living, whereas here comparing two different things with each other by comparing these with these. That was the simile. Is it clear? See children, figure of speech is very easy to score 1 mark. So I am giving very simple definition so that you have to understand. Okay? And write down below what you have written. This example don't take. I will give proper example. This is only to just make you understand, children. Okay? And below the definition you write down. It highlighting the similarities between two things using words such as like, as, and then. Write down. It highlighting the similarities between two things using words such as like, as, then. Clear? That's why I gave he was standing like a wall. Understood children? Here he was standing like a wall. Here what I did, I took two different things. Right? And the two different things which is compared, he is compared to wall by using the word like. Here because of like, these sentence I can say which is in a simile form, or the figure of speech here used is simile. Correct? Understood? Then one more example. Suppose I give he ran fast. Are you able to tell which figure of speech is used here? No. So correct. He was comparing. He has to compare. Right? So what you have to show? You have to show the similarity. So what we will do? We here use he ran like the wind. He ran like the wind. So here he was compared to wind by using the word like, means the speed. There first I use the fast, right children? So instead of a fast, to measure the degree of his running, we compare with wind. We compare the running speed of the person with the wind, so that the comparison is here is simile. Clear? In your poem they had given, my heart is like a singing bird. My heart is like a, third one, My heart is like a singing bird. So which is compared here? Which is, sorry, my heart is here. My heart is like a singing bird. So what was compared here? Heart. Heart was compared to a bird, not just a bird. Singing bird. Here the heartbeat in happiness, which it beat in when we are happy. The heartbeat is something very fast, right children? That heartbeat was compared to the bird, not just a bird, the bird which sings. For that it was used by using the word like. Here that was a simile. Simile is very simple children. In a sentence, if you found like, as, then we will classify that figure of speech as a simile. Clear? Then the third one is metaphor. Metaphor. Right? Write down. Metaphor is comparing two unlike object. Comparing two unlike object or things. Two unlike object or things which may have some common qualities. Which may have some common qualities. Here is clear children what metaphor says. Metaphor is used to unlike qualities. Unlike qualities means that two things which you are using as an example or which you are using as a to compare, that should be totally different from one to another. Is it clear? But here when the two things are separately different, they must have some same qualities. How? In the sense, assume that Rama and Bhima. Okay, example, Rama and Bhima. These two, this is only to make you understand, okay children. Rama and Bhima are two persons. They are totally different. Why? Rama is a fat and Bhima is a thin. Okay? Understood? Now these two are separate by character or by nature, but they have a same quality. What the same quality? They both have a same quality is they both are by nature they are very kind. They are very kind from heart. So that kindness here, the same quality, the kindness is the same quality that we can observe in the two. On that basis, we can compare that these two are similar to each other. Though they are physically different, one is fat, another one is thin, just because they have a same quality, nature, that is kindness. We can see kindness in both, so that we compare. Rama is like a Bhima. Because of that nature kindness, we compare to each other. So here metaphor is that when comparing, when we make a sentence in a metaphor, we take two different things which are totally different to each other. Because of its quality, we choose that two things as a comparison, as a metaphor. Is it clear children? That's why I gave Rama and Bhima example to make you understand. Now example you write down, I will tell you. Okay, example write down. The peak of her career. The peak of her career. Here, listen here the peak and career, which are two different things. Do you agree? The peak in the sense which is top or the tip of the mountain, and career is our ultimate goal of our life is what? To reach the top of our career. It should be success. Right children? What is the top of or tip of our career? That should be success. We want to reach our career. It means that we have to reach the success of our life. So here you see the peak of her career means her career was compared to mountain which was in a very high, and reaching that peak or tip of that mountain is very difficult. So here the comparison was given to reaching the goal of her career was equal to reaching the peak. Here career was compared to peak. So write down this example. The peak of her career. Below that write down, since a career is not literal mountain with a peak, but the metaphor represent the idea of arriving at the highest point of one's career. I'll repeat once again. See, since a career is not literal mountain, right? Career is not actually a mountain, right? Since a career is not a literal mountain with a peak, but the metaphor represent the idea of arriving at the highest point of one's career. Clear? This is a metaphor. So children, in this class we learn personification, simile and metaphor. There are 21, more than 100 of figure of speech are there, but very important one is 21. But in your this school level, these three figure of speech is very important. So I picked personification, simile and metaphor which arrives in your syllabus. So I felt this is important to explain. Children, year after while maybe you are reading a textbook, usually we get in a poetry. If you found such comparison, you underline that, and upon that you write which type of the figure of speech is given, because here I will revise once again. In the personification we compare two things, one should be living, another one is non-living, whereas in simile we compare the things by using like, as and then, and here in a metaphor we take two different things, and by seeing a one same quality we will compare it as a metaphor. Is it clear? So read once whatever you have written and try to identify the sentence which was in a figure of speech. Till then children, I will meet you in the next topic. Till then children, take care.